Uncharted 2, Among Thieves, really exemplifies the phrase, more than the sum of its parts. This game knows exactly what it is, and it doesn't try to be anything it's not. What it is simply an exciting, tightly paced, globe-trotting action-adventure, sort of an Indiana Jones story for the modern era that's adapted into a video game. Naughty Dog has really made something special here, and Uncharted 2 is an enormous improvement over its predecessor in pretty much every way. Every single element of this game is incredibly well produced, from the eye-popping cinematic presentation of the action to the vastly improved combat, the utterly stunning graphics, the fast-moving storyline, and the cast of endearing and believable characters. I know it might sound a little cliched, but all these parts combine to create a game that's really the closest thing you're going to get to playing your own way through a blockbuster action movie.
Now what do? We jump? Oh, hold on there, Sundance. You gotta be out of your mind. We'll break our goddamn necks.
You certainly don't need to have played the first Uncharted to appreciate this one, but it wouldn't hurt for you to be familiar with the returning characters. On the other hand, even if you don't know Nathan Drake...
God, you're an ass.
You know Nathan Drake. He's your typical rakish, wisecracking, treasure-hunting tough guy, kind of equal parts Indiana Jones and John McClane. Actually, everybody in the world of Uncharted fills out a similar kind of popcorn movie archetype. You've got the cigar-chomping old-timer Sully, the intrepid, haughty field reporter Elena, and then there's Chloe, the sultry new master thief with ties to Drake's sordid past.
Is that an ancient Tibetan ritual dagger in your pocket?
Oh, maybe I'm just happy to see you. Yeah, hello.
The story here is basically just the further adventures of Nathan Drake. The crew's running around the world chasing after some precious Buddhist artifacts and being chased by a psychotic warlord. It's not gravitas or high drama, but really basic human elements that make the game's narrative so special. Uncharted 2's story is so successful precisely because it embraces the kind of lighthearted superficiality of the action movie genre. It's just chock full of one-liners and snarky banter, double crosses, there's a great, believable love triangle, all the stuff you'd really look for in this kind of an action story. These are honestly some of the realest and most believable characters I've ever gotten to know in a video game, and they keep the story moving at a breakneck pace.
I don't like these odds.
No?
No, I think maybe we should cut over to the hotel a different way. Just avoid this crew altogether. I'm sorry, do you have a plan to go along with that grenade?
Then again, the most important character in Uncharted 2 is the action, and man, it is big, explosive, over the top, and in your face. From one moment to the next, you're getting into huge gun battles, pulling off heists, exploring dangerous ancient ruins, fighting helicopter gunships, escaping from collapsing buildings, running along the tops of speeding trains.
Good night, boys!
These action moments are big enough in concept, but they're that much more exciting because of the incredibly cool way the game shows them to you, and more importantly, lets you play through them yourself. You almost never lose control of Drake in order to merely watch him do cool things in a cutscene. The cutscenes are there for exposition, for moving the storyline along. The action movie stuff is all there so you can play through it yourself, and it's really a thrill to do it. Just like the first Uncharted, you can kind of reduce the gameplay here to Gears of War and Tomb Raider. Or, if you want to be a little more polite about it, you could say cover-based shooting and a lot of climbing, swinging, leaping, and crawling. I'm going to nominate the combat here as by far the most improved aspect from the first game. There's a greater range of satisfying weapons here, the enemies don't absorb 100 bullets each before they go down, and it's a lot easier to fight hand-to-hand successfully. There are a ton of other minor improvements like better ragdoll effects, improved grenade aiming with no awful mandatory 6-axis control, all this other stuff that Naughty Dog has really refined, and they combine it together to make Uncharted 2 a truly great game in which to shoot and punch things. Again, the action in Uncharted 2 is that much more exciting because it is such a fantastic looking game. I mean, I usually try not to beat the quality of a game's graphics into the ground too much, but I don't even know what to say about this. It looks so good. Just look at this. And this. And that part? Okay, I really love this part. Dude! By itself, the single-player campaign here is good enough that you need to play Uncharted 2, but there also happens to be a really robust multiplayer mode that drastically amps up the value of this package. Given the cover-based, stop-and-pop nature of the combat, Uncharted 2 multiplayer feels a bit like Gears of War, and of course, that's a good thing. but mixing in the gymnastic elements from the single player really gives you an extra degree of mobility that makes the multiplayer feel that much more dynamic. The action is split out into both competitive and cooperative modes, and they're both just chock full of satisfying shooting. I had the most fun with the 3-player co-op, which is split into objective and arena game types. On the objective side, you've got 3 brief missions that are basically adapted from the story mode, but they actually feature their own unique cinematics and voiceover. These missions are all about moving from point A to B to C with your posse to accomplish some kind of goal that's specific to that mission. Then there's the co-op arena, which is a basic survival mode where hordes of enemies rush at you for 10 increasingly punishing rounds. The co-op modes can get hard as all hell. There's just a ludicrous number of enemies coming at you from all sides. It's honestly way harder than anything you're going to see in the campaign, so it's really a great place to get online and test your mettle with a couple of your friends. The competitive side offers all the sorts of modes you'd expect. You've got Deathmatch, King of the Hill, and that kind of thing. These top out at 10 players, which feel about right for the size of the maps in the game. And of course, it wouldn't be a modern online game without a persistent level-up system and a bunch of stuff to unlock. As you gain new levels, you can access better and better boosters that improve your reload times and accuracy, among other modifiers. These unlocks are really smartly designed. They're broken out into separate sections for co-op and competitive boosters, so you can kind of focus on improving the sorts of gameplay that you like more. And of course, there's also a bunch of prestige items and multiplayer skins and that kind of thing that you can get too. Honestly, I didn't really expect the action from Uncharted 2's campaign to carry over to multiplayer all that well, but guess what? It totally does. It's a ton of fun to play online, and it'll probably keep that game disc in your PS3 for a good long while after you finish the story. Naughty Dog produced a great blueprint with the first Uncharted and then fulfilled maybe, I'm going to say 75% of its potential. But they have gone to 110% with this game in every way. Uncharted 2 is one of the best action games I have played in a long, long time. In fact, why are you still watching this? You need to play this game. Just go get it. Go.
Hey, check it out. Marco.
Really?
Come on.
No.
Marco.
Hello.
Fish out of water.
So unprofessional.
The movie's over. Why are you still here? Shoo. Scram. Skedaddle.
Yeah, give me a Wiedersehen.
Pound bricks, motherfucker.
Yeah, hello.